The Masters 8 tournament was the battleground of champions as we saw Ash battle against his toughest opponents yet to become world champion. At the top of this challenging mountain of trainers stood the undefeated Leon, and in the finals of the Masters 8, Ash went head to head with Leon in an all-out battle to determine who was truly the strongest in his greatest battle yet. But this battle is even more exciting and epic because it's filled with tons of little Easter eggs and hidden details. I'm sure you probably noticed that Pikachu and Charizard recreate the battle shot from the second opening of Pokemon Journeys. But did you realize that Pikachu actually uses Volt Tackle again in this episode for the first time in years? Hey Pokemon Champions, I'm Champion Blaze, and this is a breakdown of Ash vs Leon Part 4, Partners in Time. Just like the last 30 parts of this battle, I'll be uncovering all the little hidden details, Easter eggs, and references that you may have missed during this episode. Be sure to check out my last 3 breakdowns of this battle if you haven't already. But if you're all caught up, then let's dive into the epic conclusion to Ash vs Leon. Let's get started. This episode begins where the last one ended, with Eternatus showing up at Winden Stadium. Due to the combination of immense energy from Mega Evolution, Z-moves, and Gigantamaxing, Eternatus has reacted to the Galar particles above Winden Stadium, which has been hinted at throughout this entire battle. Ash and Leon look up to the sky as Eternatus fires its Dynamax cannon into the sky towards the Dynamax Storm. Then the opening theme plays, and if you want to see my breakdown of the opening theme, then be sure to check out my breakdown of Part 1 of this battle. The title card for the episode appears, and just like the last 30 parts, both Ash and Leon read it off, showing how monumental their battle is and how each trainer has greatly influenced and impacted the other throughout the series and Masters 8 tournament. This episode's title is also a play on the term Partners in Crime. Eternatus fires its Dynamax cannon into the Dynamax Storm above Winden Stadium, and the entire storm dissipates from the area, effectively saving the people in the stadium and the entire region from what could have been a catastrophe. As the storm vanishes, we can see some civilians in the street witnessing this, and one man owns a Manectric. This is the first time a Manectric has been in the anime since the Pokemon movie Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel. Geez, do the writers just not like Manectric or something? When Eternatus leaves, however, you can actually hear a faint cry from it, which is the same cry given to Lugia in Pokemon the movie 2000. Take a listen. After Eternatus leaves the area, it appears that the legendary Pokemon has refilled the energy within Ash and Leon's Dynamax bands, granting them each an additional use of Dynamax during this battle. This intervention of Eternatus is similar to Tapu Koko's intervention at the Alola League during Ash and Professor Kukui's exhibition match. There, Tapu Koko stopped Kukui from sending out his final Pokemon and instead battled alongside Kukui. I've actually got a whole theory speculating about what his final Pokemon could have been, and Tapu Koko even grants both Ash and Kukui an additional use of a Z-move as well, resulting in this climactic finish. So Leon returns Charizard and brings out Gigantamax Cinderace, marking the anime debut of this Pokemon's Gigantamax form. Ash then also Gigantamaxes Pikachu, making its first appearance since his first battle against Leon earlier in this series. Gigantamax Pikachu is also nicknamed Chonkachu by the community, as it's a nod to how Pikachu used to be much chunkier in its official artwork and has thinned out over the years. Leon uses G-Max Fireball and Ash uses G-Max Volt Crash. Both Pokemon enjoy the other's attack as long as they can until both moves result in massive explosions. When the smoke clears, it's revealed both Pokemon have returned to normal size, and the impact of G-Max Volt Crash was too much for Cinderace to withstand, causing it to collapse, bringing Leon down to his final Pokemon, Charizard. And it's just also crazy that this one attack is what brought down Cinderace. Yes, I know G-Max moves are way stronger than regular Pokemon moves and even regular Dynamax moves, but this Cinderace has taken no damage the entire battle, and it gets one shot here. Just a little nitpick, but let's move on. Leon recalls Cinderace and says the battle has now come down to their aces, Pikachu and Charizard. Leon then sends out Charizard in the coolest way possible, and here is a comparison between the original and the English dub.
Charizard, let's go!
Charizard hits the field with its strong battle cry, and Leon says that Ash has done very well pushing someone like him this far, because remember, Leon has gone this entire series undefeated, even coming into the series undefeated as well. He says Ash is helping him become so much stronger, and he does the gesture with his hand that he would do if he was doing his signature Charizard pose. Charizard then lets out another battle cry, signifying that this battle is at its height now. What's interesting here is that Leon's Charizard actually makes the same in-game pose of Charizard we see during the title sequence to Pokemon Gold and Silver. Ash then declares to Leon that because of him, he's gotten so much stronger than they were before, that this is the peak of all the adventures him and Pikachu have been on up until this point. And while he gives the declaration, we can see that Professor Oak, his mom, and Tracy are continuing to watch the battle from Oak's lab, as they have been the entire time. But Misty and her Psyduck and Gyarados are also watching from the Cerulean Gym. Brock, Silent, and Alexa are seen watching the battle together, which marks Alexa's first appearance since a towering takeover, 286 episodes earlier. This is also Silent's first appearance since Until We Meet Again from Black and White, 419 episodes earlier. And we can also assume that Brock and Silent at some point realized they were both close friends of Ash after failing to acknowledge this detail during their first encounter together and their Black and White special together. We then get to finally see May and Max in Pokemon Journeys, marking their first appearance since Strategy with a Smile, 690 episodes earlier. They're standing next to Serena, who's wearing her contest performance outfit that she wore in Reuniting for the first time, where she helped Chloe get into Pokemon performances with Eevee. May is also shown wearing her game counterpart's contest costume as well from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And we also see Licia with them as well with her signature Altaria, who also comes from the Auras games, and who also debuted in Reuniting for the first time. And now the final matchup between Ash and Leon can begin. Ash begins with Quick Attack and Leon responds with Ancient Power, but Pikachu dodges the rocks and hops off one to strike with Quick Attack. It bounces off Charizard's belly and prepares to deliver a blow with Iron Tail, but Leon has Charizard knock it away using its tail. Then before Ash can respond, Leon has Charizard launch a flurry of Air Slash attacks on Pikachu and then fires off a powerful Fire Blast attack. In order to defend, Ash has Pikachu use Electro Web, and this is by far the biggest attack that Pikachu has blocked using Electro Web. And when Ash tells Pikachu to run, it reminds me of Ash telling Pikachu to run in the first Pokemon movie.
Run, Pikachu!
Then we get an epic clash between Thunderbolt and Fire Blast, and this shot is actually exactly the same shot we see in the second opening for Pokemon Journeys, which is the shot that's used in the third Japanese opening for the series called 1, 2, 3. Ash has Pikachu use Iron Tail and Leon tells Charizard to take the hit, which seems like a strange strategy, but there's a reason for this we're about to get into. Iron Tail strikes Charizard in the chest and Charizard just smiles as Leon has it deliver a point-blank Dragon Pulse to Pikachu. If you remember, this is the same tactic that Leon used to defeat Alon's Mega Charizard X in the first round. Gosh, that battle still makes me angry, so let's not talk about it anymore. Pikachu refuses to be defeated by that Dragon Pulse and cancels it out using Thunderbolt. Pikachu stands up and Ash says this battle is just getting started. Then Pikachu fires off a powerful blast of electricity, showcasing that his fighting spirit has been raised to the max. I would simply call this Voltage if it were an electric type version of the abilities Blaze, Torrent, and Overgrow that starter Pokemon commonly have. This also looks very similar to when Ash faced off against Rourke in the Orberg Gym for the first time and got knocked down by Rourke's Trainedos. Paul was watching and Pikachu refused to be defeated with Paul watching, so to defend Ash's honor as a trainer, it stood up and fired off a powerful blast of electricity there as well. Leon responds with its battling spirit being turned up to the max, and Charizard's flame on its tail burns brighter than ever as it engulfs the field in flames. Both Pokemon have their spirits and hearts ablaze, and as their passionate spirits ignite, Sonia looks onto Leon as she reminisces about Leon starting his journey with Charmander. Of course, Leon's first battle was against Sonia, and they've been friends since childhood, so it's a touching moment that Sonia is reflecting on how far Leon has come. The camera pans across the field to Ash, and we can hear Shinji Miyazaki's iconic music in the background from Black and White and X and Y. Then Ash has Pikachu deliver the fastest quick attack we've ever seen. This knocks back Charizard and Leon uses Ancient Power. It's much more powerful than before, and to dodge this, Pikachu actually uses the Rock Tomb climb technique that Ash developed to take on Grant, the Solage City gym leader back in X and Y, which he then turned into Draco Meteor Climb. Now at the top of the stadium, Pikachu uses Quick Attack to dodge the oncoming assault from Charizard's Air Slash attack and then gets knocked off the metal structure, so it then uses Iron Tail to block each attack from Air Slash and then tries to hit Charizard. Charizard dodges, causing Pikachu's tail to smash into the ground with intense force. This gives Leon the opportunity to fire off a powerful Fire Blast attack, and with Pikachu's tail stuck, it can't respond fast enough to use Thunderbolt to counter, and it is engulfed by Fire Blast. The impact from Fire Blast was so strong combined with all the other damage Pikachu has taken during the match that it's struggling to stay standing. It's exhausted, it's running out of energy, and its breathing is heavy. But there's actually a big difference here between the English dub and the original version. In the English dub, there's light music to accompany this serious and tense situation, which does work, it's fine. But in the original, this moment is miles better because the entire moment is silent. Music in any piece of media, whether it's a YouTube video, short film, or blockbuster film, is crucial to setting the tone and mood of the scenes that we're watching on screen. But sometimes silence is far more powerful and impactful, depending on what the scene is showing and what the context is. In this case, the silence of the original version just works far better. It adds so much more weight and emotion and tension to the scene as we watch to see if Pikachu will collapse and Ash will lose, or if Pikachu can keep fighting. And this is a lesson I think the English dub really needs to learn, that sometimes the power of silence is far more effective than any soundtrack that they can create.
Pikachu! Pikachu!
Another difference is that when Pikachu is panting from the attack, trying not to collapse, its breathing eventually becomes muffled, and when Ash yells out Pikachu's name, that is also muffled. But this is only in the Japanese version. Take a listen. Even edits like this decrease the quality of the anime for dub viewers. But let's continue our breakdown. I'll leave a link to my friend Lumio's trainer Zach's video about the differences between the dub and sub of Pokemon in the description if you're interested. It's a great video that really dives deep into the production and editing choices between sub and dub. As Pikachu struggles to stay standing, we see a beautiful sequence of all of Ash's companions watching this match as they look on with concern, hoping Pikachu can pull through. This is actually the last time we'd see many of these characters, which include May, Max, Dawn, Iris, Serena, Clement, Bonnie, Lana, Lily, Kiawe, Sophocles, Malo, Todd Snap, Cynthia, Alexa, Diantha, Professor Kukui, Gladion, Professor Burnett, Rose and Oleana, Sonia, Lei, which is Ash's younger brother from his Alola family, and Professor Magnolia. This is also the first time every main character has appeared in the same episode together since the episode The Right Place and the Right Mime, 810 episodes earlier. When Pikachu finally collapses due to exhaustion, it begins to remember the first time it met Ash at the start of their journey, and then remembers every single one of his friends that he's made across all his journeys. We see Ash's original Kanto team, and this marks the first appearance of Ash's Pidgeot since the Fires of a Red Hot reunion, 444 episodes earlier. But if you don't count that since it was shown as a Pidgeotto, then its last actual appearance was in a flashback 1086 episodes earlier in Fighting Flyer with Fire. Butterfree was last seen 236 episodes ago in Alola, Kanto, the same with Ash's Squirtle. We then see Ash's other Kanto Pokemon, and this marks Primeape's first appearance since the Fires of a Red Hot reunion as well. We have Lapras's first appearance since Lapras of Luxury 960 episodes ago. In regards to some of Ash's Pokemon that we see during the sequence, we need to highlight Kingler, Muck, Swallow, and Boldore, as their voices were done using archived audio from Unsho Ishizuka. He is included in the credits of this episode since they used his archived audio as he was a former Pokemon voice actor for the anime who lived from May 16th, 1951 to August 16th, 2018. Rest in peace. We then see Ash's Johto Pokemon, which actually includes Larvitar, so this counts as one of Ash's Pokemon which we last saw in Alola Kanto, who he cared for while in the Johto region. We see Ash's Hoenn team, which includes Ambipom, which we haven't seen since To Thine Own Pokemon Be True 627 episodes earlier, and we don't need to talk about that episode anymore. Remember, Ash didn't catch Apom in Sinnoh, and not even in Johto. He caught it in Kanto after his Hoenn adventures, but since it was caught during the advanced generation, it's considered part of his Hoenn team. Then we see Ash's Sinnoh team, the Goats. Next we see his Unova team, then his Kalos team, marking Gujo's first appearance since Till We Compete Again, 278 episodes prior. Then we see Ash's Alola team, and this episode marks the final physical appearance of Ash's Lycanroc and Melmetal. Then finally, Ash's Journeys team appears to root for Pikachu and Ash. This gives Pikachu the power needed to let loose its most powerful blast of Thunderbolt yet, as it wakes up to get back into the battle. And this scene also marks the first time that all of Ash's Pokemon have appeared in the same episode together since Mystery at the Lighthouse 1204 episodes prior. This of course is not counting any flashbacks or anything of the like, all actually appearing in the same episode together. Now we've reached the absolute climax of this battle as Pikachu is engulfed in Super Saiyan electricity and is at the peak of its power. Ash is so happy Pikachu stood back up, and now it's time to finish this battle. In classic Ash Ketchum fashion, he turns his hat around and says they're going to put everything they've got into this attack. Ash turning his hat around here is what he classically did during the original series and also the beginning of the Black and White series, but it's also reminiscent of his hat turnaround that he did when he went to finish off the battle with Pikachu against Tobias and his Latios. Now it's time for Leon and Charizard to give it everything they've got as well. Leon throws off his hat and does his signature Charizard pose just like he would do in the games, and Charizard enters its strongest state yet. Ash has Pikachu use Thunderbolt, and Leon has Charizard use Fire Blast. In one final epic clash, the two Pokemon collide and both trainers give it their all. But something to notice here is the way the attacks are used. Normally both of these attacks are special attacks and are fired off on the Pokemon, but here they're turned into physical attacks as they charge in using these attacks. This makes Pikachu's Thunderbolt attack look like it's using its iconic Volt Tackle attack, and it makes Charizard look like it's using Flare Blitz, and when it charges up Fire Blast, it looks similar to Infernape's Blaze ability activating in Ash's battle against Paul at the Sinnoh League. During their final attacks, we can hear the original Pokemon theme song playing in the background, as it's only fitting to play this song in the final moments of Ash's greatest battle. In the original Japanese version, we can hear the original Japanese theme song for Pokemon playing, which is called Mezase Pokemon Master. An absolutely perfect choice for both versions of the anime to play their respective theme songs. We then fade to white. Pikachu wakes up in the Pokemon Center, and Ash is relieved to see Pikachu awake now after such an intense battle. Ash says Pikachu's last attack gave him the shivers, and Pikachu remembers what happened. The final clash between Pikachu and Charizard, Thunderbolt versus Fire Blast, and when the moves end, we can see some sparks going down Pikachu's body the same way this would happen when Pikachu would take recoil damage from Volt Tackle. Also, just look at the eyes on Pikachu and Charizard, that is wild. These Pokemon have used up all their energy and gave it the best battle they could. Pikachu lands and Charizard tries not to collapse, but it lets out one final cry before succumbing to its exhaustion and collapsing. Charizard is unable to battle. For the first time ever, Leon's Charizard has been defeated on screen. We then get this shot of Leon with his hat on the ground that just symbolizes his loss and how he now has to step down from his title as Monarch. Ash is overjoyed with the victory, and Pikachu tries to use the last bit of strength that it has to walk to Ash, but it can't make it, and Ash catches Pikachu just before it falls. Just another little way of showing his bond with Pikachu and how he's always there for his Pokemon. Leon then enters the room and thanks Ash for a great battle and how it made him think of his very first battle against Sonia when he was a kid. He said it was fun, yet frustrating, explaining that's what a Pokemon battle is. Ash and Leon agree to have more battles to continue to grow stronger and to battle again sometime. Then Pikachu taps its head on Charizard's head, which I just find funny since Pikachu just hit Charizard on the head to defeat it in battle, so like, what the heck, Pikachu? It's then time for the award ceremony, where Leon hands Ash his trophy for becoming the new world champion. Look how beautiful this trophy looks. Everyone congratulates him on his victory, including Team Rocket, saying our Pikachu comes shining through. Just so wholesome of them given their long history with Ash and Pikachu. Diantha actually then comments that she's actually gotten the sudden urge for a battle, showing how Ash's personality is just infectious. Cynthia then tells Diantha that she's free for a battle. I mean, Cynthia, if you're still free after that, why don't you and me have a battle? Ash's Pokemon also celebrate for him by making a fireworks display using Water Gun, Flamethrower, and a combination of Razor Leaf and Leaf Storm. This is actually the same display they made to cheer for Ash when he returned to Oak's lab in the episode Friends, Rivals, Lend Me Your Spirit. And in typical Torkoal fashion, Torkoal is crying tears of joy for Ash's victory. Ash can now stand tall beside his Pokemon who helped him become the new champion. Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, Sirfetch'd, and Dracovish. Ash Ketchum has now become the very best like no one ever was. After the ceremony, Ash is back at the hotel resting after such an intense battle, and he wakes up to a call from Go. Behind Ash is actually a rather peculiar painting. This is actually similar to a work of art known as A Sailing Ship on a High Sea by Moonlight by Ivan Alvasovsky. It features a ship on the ocean with another ship to the right, with a moonlit sky and light shining around the moon, almost sparkling. This painting is also very similar to Alvasovsky's most famous work, The Ninth Wave. I've actually talked before about how this painting hinted at the debut of the Rising Voltaculus from Pokemon Horizon, as they use a giant ship to travel to the Pokemon world in the new Gen 9 anime. This was quite the battle. Brilliant animation and lighting, the intensity, the tension, the drama, the action, everything was done so well, and this truly was Ash's greatest battle. This battle may be a bit controversial due to the circumstances surrounding it, but I absolutely loved every moment of this battle, especially the ending between Pikachu and Charizard. This battle was truly peak fiction. Congratulations, Pokemon Master Ash. And these are all the little Easter eggs, hidden details, and references that I could find throughout the entire episode. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if I missed any details, and what your favorite moments were. Subscribe for more Pokemon anime discussion and breakdowns like this, and until next time, Pokemon Champions, train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.